Human beings are a resilient species. We deal with so much nonsense on a daily basis. We dealt with 8 of these, we dealt with 1 million of these, we deal with this in our current economic climate, we even dealt with a decade and a half of this. But I guess in the end, it was all worth it. Because Daisy is in a 2D Mario game! We made it! Woo! Super Mario Wonder. Wow. This is one of those games that makes a man stop and stare. The kind that makes a tear roll down the eye. It had been a while since the last 2D Mario game. That being New Super Mario Bros. U for everyone's favorite mistake. That game came out in 2012, and the only 2D Mario content that's come out since then were the Super Mario Maker games. So Super Mario Wonder was a long time coming. And coming it did. And coming, do you really want me to finish that sentence? Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the game I've been waiting my whole life for. My first ever Mario game was Super Mario Bros. 3, specifically Super Mario Advance 4 on the Game Boy Advance, and I loved everything about it. That to this day is still one of the best platformers, no, best games ever made. 2D Mario is just the purest distillation of fun. Mario 1 is obviously the classic of classics, Mario 2 is weird and different, Mario 3 and Mario World are 2 of the best platformers ever, Lost Levels can f*** off, and the land games are super fun too. 2D Mario in the early Nintendo days was always consistently fun and different, but for a while there were no new 2D Mario games. 3D Mario was flourishing with 64 and Sunshine, mileage may vary, but 2D wise, there were only re-releases on the Game Boy Advance. But everything changed with the 2006 release of New Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo DS. 2D Mario was back, and was as fun as ever. It had cool levels, and new power-ups, and awesome multiplayer, and the game looked... Mario was back, yeah! It was later followed up by New Super Mario Bros. Wii in 2009, which featured 4-player co-op multiplayer, and they brought back the Cool Links for the first time in over a decade. This was awesome. It was like Super Mario Bros. DS, but on a console! Huh! I kinda feel like I've done this before. It can't be overstated just how much of a smash hit these games were, both becoming some of the best-selling games on each respective system, and among the best-selling games of all time. But already, you could kind of see that sameness start to seep through. Comparing any old 2D Mario game against each other, and they all looked and played radically different, even ones on the same system. But DS and Wii, while Wii had better models, it still had that same plain art style. But it wasn't a big deal, since it was just 2 games that looked like this. Sorry, I blacked out, how did we get here? New Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. 2 despite being the 3rd game in the series, New Super Mario Bros. U, and later New Super Luigi U. You're a f***ing fibber. From New Super Mario Bros. On the DS onward, 2D Mario was officially stuck in a rut. The games in this series aren't bad, they're perfectly fine, functional, free time spenders. None of these games are outright terribly designed or broken, but holy piss, dude, these games are boring. I do actually like DS and Wii well enough, but 2 and U are as dry as their second worlds. These games lacked identities and all blended together. They shared the exact same art style, theming, gameplay, and nothing about any of these individual entries stands out, except for maybe DS. 2 has the coin gimmick, but it's not very fun or interesting. It's the same game, but there's more bling 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 bling. Mario U was the culmination of all of this. I have never had a more brain-off, mind-numbing experience playing a Mario game. I felt absolutely nothing, which sucks. This is Mario. He's Mr. Joy and Whimsy. How did we go from the best thing ever to the most it's a thing ever? On their own, each of these games are fine, but the fact that 4 games in a row all essentially did the same thing just made it boring in the end. They all had the same sequence of worlds too, grass, desert, beach, forest, ice, sky, lava, and only one of them did it well, Sonic Lost World. The new games also put the whole Mario series into this whole era of blandness, where everything was made to be as basic and corporately squeaky clean to align with the uber successful New Super Mario Bros. Games that sold a bajillion copies. Mario Party, bland. Mario Sports, bland. Mario Kart, okay 7 was kinda bland, but I don't think it had anything to do with that, it was just a whatever game, and 8 wasn't bland at all. Mario RPGs, bland. It just led to the whole franchise becoming less interesting and weird. It even made its way into the 3D entries, with 3D Land and 3D World being more 2D Mario games than 3D ones. It just felt like they could only play things safe with Mario, and lacked that wacky fun factor that made Mario special. But the Switch brought a shift in the Mario brand. Maybe with the Wii U being a laughingstock, it made them more reserved with their biggest IP, and the success of the Switch let them be weird and fun again? I don't know. But what I do know is that Mario got back on track. Odyssey was super creative and imaginative in a way I haven't seen since Galaxy 2. They lent out the IP to Ubisoft and created the weirdest crossover spin-off since Mario and Sonic. Remember when they made this boring? They even let Mario look like he fucking died. And finally, 2D Mario is back in a huge way. And it looks wonderful. I have been waiting for a 2D Mario game with charm and soul for so long. It feels so good to see 2D Mario being this imaginative after 4 games of this. We thought with this shit for how long? Just from the first 10 seconds of the trailer, it was immediately clear that this game was offering more than just the new soups. Graphics, gameplay, they've upgraded from to... All I wanted from a 2D Mario game was an art style shift, but they blew those expectations out of the water. The game looks beautiful, with designs that have clear inspiration from the 2D Mario art, but adapted into unique and expressive 3D models that animate beautifully. Mario looks so full of life in his animations. His hat bobs around on his head when he runs. He poses more energetically in his runs and jumps. He has fun little flourishes like his crouch animation, or when he enters a pipe and his hat falls off for a second and he has to go and grab it. All these little additions make the game so much more bouncy and lively. It's gorgeous in a way Mario has deserved forever. Mario animating better is one thing, but the blandest part of New Super Mario Bros. Were the environments. And well, I mean, are you seeing this? These games' environments and levels look like they're filled with so much splendor. The colors pop so much, and the backgrounds and art design got me hot and bothered more than even Pura does. Hey! Oh! Just the first grassland already looks more visually interesting than anything in New Super Mario Bros. And that's not even getting into how everything starts looking weird and dreamlike when he grabs the new Wonder Flowers. Even more than the visuals, the level design looks really good too. It looks a lot more dynamic and memorable than New Super Mario Bros. I'm already seeing a large variety of level gimmicks and set pieces, from foreground and background elements mixing a la Donkey Kong Country Returns, silhouette segments a la Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, grind rails a la Sonic the Hedgehog, all of the pipes getting weird and trippy with the Wonder Flower. The game looks like it's going to stay consistently varied and engaging. It all just makes me so happy. Mario's an elephant! I challenge you to name a single thing that's funnier. Everything about this game is making me feel glee in a way 2D Mario hasn't made me feel in ages. It's just so good to see a 2D Mario game finally have a unique identity again, and the level of ambition you would see in a 3D Mario game. And I cannot wait to pick this game up and have that euphoric childlike wonder this funny cartoon plumber owes me. It finally feels like they have a game on their hands that has a chance to rival some of Mario's best. Instead of reminding me of New Super Mario Bros., it makes me think of games like Tropical Freeze, Rayman Legends, Kirby Return to Dreamland, and weirdly enough, it's giving me the same bubbles of joy that Sonic Superstars is giving me. Man, it's great loving both of these series. These two games have a lot in common actually. Both are new 2D platformers, both look fantastic, both have multiplayer and a multitude of characters, and both add a highly requested female character as playable. Sonic's adding Amy, and Mario's adding yeah! Daisy is playable in a mainline Mario game for the first time ever. I have been waiting my whole life for this moment. Daisy's always been the best princess, and she's finally getting the time to shine in a non-spin-off, like she has always deserved. She debuted in a mainline Mario game, so I don't know what took her so ding-dang long, but she's here! She's finally here! I won so hard! Peach is outdated. Rosalina, overrated. Long have we waited. Daisy, activated! Believe it or not, my favorite Mario character is actually Yoshi. He's here too. This game's gonna be perfect. Soul's Return, we are so f***ing back.